Chookoopookoo for Kids, The Lazy Princess Moona. Once upon a time, in a beautiful kingdom called Kashmir House, there lived a princess named Moona. She was the only daughter of King Riaz and Queen Salma. Moona was very beautiful, with long golden hair and bright green eyes. Everyone in the kingdom loved her, but there was one problem: Moona was very lazy. Princess Moona never liked to do any work. She did not like to wake up early, she did not like to study, and she did not like to help anyone. While other princesses learned to ride horses, dance, and sew, Moona spent her days lying in bed, eating sweets, and watching the birds from her window. The king and queen were very worried. "Moona, my dear," Queen Salma said one day, "you must learn to do something useful. A princess should be kind and helpful." "But I am a princess," Moona yawned. "Princes and servants will do everything for me." King Riaz shook his head. "One day, you will have to take care of this kingdom, Moona. You must be strong and wise." Moona did not listen. She only wanted to sleep and eat. One day, a powerful sorceress named Morgana visited the palace. She was old and wise, and she could see into the hearts of people. When she saw Moona, she frowned. "This princess is too lazy. She must learn a lesson," Morgana whispered. That night, when everyone was asleep, Morgana cast a spell on Moona's room. The next morning, when Moona woke up, she found that everything in her room had disappeared. Her soft bed, her warm blankets, her sweets, everything was gone. She tried to call for her servants, but no one came. She walked out of her room and saw that the entire palace was empty. The king, the queen, the guards, everyone had vanished. Moona was shocked. "Where is everyone?" she cried. She walked outside and saw that the kingdom was covered in darkness. The sun was gone and the trees had no leaves. The rivers were dry and the birds were silent. Then Morgana appeared in front of her. "Princess Moona," she said, "you have lived your whole life without helping anyone. Now your kingdom is in danger. If you want to save it, you must prove that you can be a good princess." "But how?" Moona asked. "You must complete 3 tasks," Morgana said. "If you fail, the kingdom will remain like this forever." Moona had no choice. She had to save her kingdom. First task, Morgana took Moona to the village. The houses were broken and the people were sad. "Your first task is to help the villagers rebuild their homes," Morgana said. Moona had never worked before. Her hands were soft and she had never lifted anything heavy. But she knew she had to try. She picked up bricks and carried them to the builders. She brought water for the workers. She cleaned the streets and helped the women cook food for the hungry children. It was hard work and she was very tired, but for the first time in her life, she felt happy when she saw the villagers smile. Morgana nodded. "You have passed the first task." The second task, Morgana took Moona to the royal gardens. The flowers were dead and the trees were dry. "Your second task is to bring life back to the gardens," she said. Moona did not know how to plant trees, but she remembered how the royal gardeners took care of the plants. She dug holes in the ground and planted seeds. She brought water from the well and poured it on the dry soil. She removed the weeds and sang songs to the little plants. Days passed and slowly the gardens began to bloom. The trees grew green leaves and the flowers started to open. The birds returned, singing happily. Morgana smiled. "You have passed the second task." The third task, Morgana took Moona to the palace. The throne room was dark and cold. "Your final task is to bring light and happiness back to the kingdom," Morgana said. Moona thought for a long time. She realized that a kingdom is not happy just because of gold and riches. It is happy when the people feel safe and loved. She ordered food to be given to the poor. She arranged for children to learn in the royal school. She visited the sick and gave them medicine. She spoke kindly to the servants and listened to the problems of the villagers. Slowly, the kingdom began to shine again. The sun returned and the people danced in the streets. The king and queen reappeared, smiling proudly at their daughter. Morgana nodded. You have learned to be a true princess. The spell is broken. From that day on, Moona was no longer lazy. She woke up early, worked hard, and helped her people. She became the wisest and kindest queen Kashmir House had ever known. And so, Princess Moona's story became the end. Hello, my Chookoopookoo family. Hope so you're good. If you also want to upload your story on YouTube, then share your idea, name, and character names via email chookoopookoo@gmail.com or WhatsApp given below. Then I will upload your story on YouTube. Like and subscribe Chookoopookoo channel. That is love to me.